morning, children. Let us continue with the uses of water. You know already about uses of water. It is used for drinking, washing, cleaning, isn't it? Then for sanitation purpose, irrigation purpose, all this, no? So let us continue with the uses of water. Now let us see about hydroelectric power station production. In that also water is used for hydroelectric power production. So what happens in hydroelectric power production, you see. As we have learnt in the chapter on energy, hydroelectric power plants harness kinetic energy of running water to produce electricity. In the lesson itself, in the energy lesson itself, I told you what happens is water falls on the turbines between the magnetic field. So what happens when these turbines are rotating with the water, then what happens? There is a hydroelectric power generated. Hydroelectric power is generated. So for that purpose they use this water. So water is used to generate hydroelectric power. Now let us see for what again water is used. Water is used for transportation. So water is used as a transportation medium. Definitely you know now, because boats, ships and all throughout it is moving. It is moving on water. Steamer boats, sailboats and ships are some vehicles used to travel across water bodies like rivers, seas and oceans. Only on rivers you can see boats, but when you come to sea and ocean, boats cannot go because there will be more amount of what? The waves, isn't it? So there ships go. Understood? So boat is used for small purpose transportation, but ships are used for that is to long kilometers. That is on the sea and ocean. Now let us go for the next one. Water is used for recreation. Recreation means what? For you to keep yourself fresh, to play. Recreation is to freshen up yourself by playing. So recreation. As you know already, water is used for recreation. We all love to play in water, isn't it? Every one of us love to play in water. Many cities and big towns have amusement parks offering water-based activities like water slides, rain dance, beach stimulation and so on. So like this what happens? You would have heard of Wonderland in Bangalore. Very famous, isn't it? It's full of water sports there. So many water games are there and you'll be enjoying there. So that is Wonderland, wherein more water sports are there. Natural water bodies are a major tourist attraction. Many hotels and resorts are built alongside them, which provides lodging and boarding facilities to tourists. Swimming, fishing, sailing and other water sports also use water, isn't it? So most of the resorts you can see, they will have the swimming pools, so that people enjoy them. And most of the resorts and all other things are constructed on the banks of rivers and on the sea beaches and all that. So people go there for play, and then they come to this hotels or whatever it is which is there. So like that you can see this water is used for recreation purpose. Not only for recreation, they are used for that is swimming, fishing. Fishing also people enjoy fishing, isn't it? Then sailing, you know, surfing and all that. How they like a boat, like the thing will be there, on that people will stand and then they just move along with the waves of the sea. So all these things are called as the recreation, means it's a water games. You play, you enjoy. When you play, you enjoy, that is called recreation. Now coming to the next one, chemical composition of water. So this chemical composition of water is a chemical compound made of two elements. Water is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. The chemical formula of water is H2O. See? Two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen together is going to form one molecule of water, that is H2O. Each molecule of water consists of two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. So when two number is written, it is two atoms, and there is no number means it is one atom of oxygen. Now did you know Henry Cavendish and Lavoisier first showed that water is made up of the elements hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1 by volume. What is 2? Two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Who found that? That was Henry Cavendish and Lavoisier. They were the ones to show that Water is a chemical compound. Activity here. Collect samples of water from various water sources available near your locality. So in your locality, whatever the sources you have, well water or bore well water or any type of water, then CMC water and all you will get, no, but water you have to collect. Note your observations regarding the differences in their properties. Some water will be little sweet to taste, some will be salty to taste, some will have chemicals in that, isn't it? So you can understand the difference of that water which you get from different sources. Now let us see about properties of water. Below are some properties of matter. Pure water, properties of water is also a matter only. Pure water is a transparent, colorless, odorless and tastes like liquid. You know, if you drink pure water, how it is? It will be fully transparent, means you are able to see that. Or if anything is kept below that water, you are able to see that. That is called as transparency. Colorless, there is no color at all for that. Odorless, no smell. For pure water I am talking, no smell. Tasteless, and if you drink water also, there is no taste in it. The taste that we get in drinking water is due to the presence of minerals dissolved in it. If minerals are dissolved, then you get, if salt is dissolved, you get salty taste. If little sweet means some minerals which is sweet in taste, if that is dissolved, you get sweet taste. Not like sugar solution. Little, you feel happy to drink that water. Okay. Then, as we have learned earlier, water exists in three states. Already you have learned that. What is that? Solid, liquid and gas. Solid, you know, ice, snow. Liquid, water. Gas is vapor. And changes easily from one state to another. So, you are already learned when it is cooled, what happens? When it is heated, what happens? Now, pure water boils at 100 degrees Celsius and freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Water boiling is 100 degrees Celsius and freezing, turning into ice, is 0 degree Celsius at sea level. As we go higher and higher, these temperatures vary. Normally when you take here, especially in Bangalore, you will get around 98 degree Celsius. Okay, so like that it differs from sea level. If you calculate, as you go higher and higher, what happens? The number will go on changing, the temperature will change. Water is a poor conductor of heat. This is the reason why it is used to extinguish fire. So if there is any fire, immediately what you do? Fire means the normal wood fire and all those things. Not the fuel fire or electric fire. It is the normal wood fire. When you get, what happens? Immediately what you take? You take water and pour on it. What will happen? Fire will put off. So it is used as a fire extinguisher. Especially it is a bad conductor of heat. It is not a good conductor, it is a bad conductor of heat. This is the reason why it is used to extinguish fire. Now, water is neither acidic nor basic. Basic means alkaline. It is neither acidic nor basic in nature. It is neutral. It is neutral means it doesn't consist of acid nor it consists of base. Okay. Now, water dissolves many solids, liquids and gases and is therefore known as universal solvent. Most of the things, if you put in water and if you just stir, what happens? It will dissolve. Most of the things. Even it can dissolve solid, liquid as well as gas. So when you stir, it becomes like plain water only. So because it has the ability to dissolve most of the substances, we call water as a universal solvent. Means it has got the ability to dissolve most of the substances. So it is called universal solvent. Now water can react with certain metals. See, water will react with certain metals. This you can see in your house also. For example, iron. Iron combines with water and oxygen to form iron oxide. What is that iron oxide? Is nothing but rust. At home, if you have got any rods, that is iron rods, without painting, you have just put it out. You have just put it out. Even your window paints and all, if it's not painted, you can see. Okay. So what happens there? This iron, when it is not painted, I am talking, if it's just exposed to air, the moisture is there, no? In air there will be moisture, or when there is rain, the water deposits on them. What happens? It will turn reddish color. And if you touch, you can see reddish powder on your fingers. Have you observed? That is called as rust. Okay, that's nothing but iron oxide. It's combined with the oxygen of the atmosphere or water. Water also there is oxygen, isn't it? So they react. Because of that reaction, what happens? You can see the rust, which is called as iron oxide. Now let us see about water pollution. Pollution means what? Contamination. Means becoming dirty. So water pollution. Water often gets polluted mainly due to human activities. Below are some common sources of water pollution. How is this water getting contaminated? Because of these reasons. What are the reasons? People bathe. You see, river water nicely. People go, put soaps, everything. They wash their body. What happens? All that dirt is going into the water. So water gets polluted. Wash clothes. They go and wash clothes. Immerse idols, especially during Ganesh Chaturthi. What do? You bring that idols, Ganesh idols, and you put it in water. Then also it is getting polluted because of paint and other things which is used to make the statue. Then and dump garbages in ponds. So garbages, all the waste materials, what are you going to do? You are going to put it into ponds, lakes and all that, no? And rivers. Ponds, lakes and rivers, what happens? It will get polluted. These water bodies thus get polluted with harmful substances. So what happens? All this water will get polluted because of the harmful substance what we are putting. In the industries, we human beings, everybody, what we do? We just put it into water and water gets polluted. So activity, collect more information on the various illness caused by polluted water. So you know what happens if you just drink dirty water, what happens? So you make a list of that. Okay. So that is about the water pollution. So how human beings are involved for water pollution. Then drainage water. Drainage water, you know, no? From sanitary, what is that? You use the sanitary things, no? So that is called as drainage water containing mori niru, you say, no? That one. So drainage water containing garbage and sewage rooted into water bodies pollutes them. So what happens? All this dirty water from the houses, where does it go? It goes to the water resources, isn't it? So that time also water gets polluted. Factories dispose of chemical waste into water bodies which pollute them. So what happens? Factories dispose of chemical. So even the factories, industries, they also dispose the chemical waste into water bodies. Next, the runoff water from farms, from agricultural lands, also cause pollution as it contains pesticides, insecticides and fertilizers. So pesticides, insecticides, you are going to put it to the plants so that they will be away from insects and pests. But they are nothing but chemicals. Even the artificial fertilizers, they are also chemicals. So what happens? That will be carried by water, and that water will reach into the rivers, lakes and all that. So that gets contaminated. It gets polluted. Then livestock. What is livestock? Poultry, cattle, etc. So poultry means the birds. Cattle means now you can take cow, sheep and all those. It comes under cattle. Waste often pollutes water. So what happens? They go drink water and now there only they pass the waste materials. So what happens? Even that gets polluted. Water gets polluted. Oil spills in rivers and seas are a major cause of water pollution. Oil spills, especially when the when the ship is carrying fuels. What happens? If there is any leakage or if there is any burst, what happens? Definitely all that oil will get into the water and thus water gets polluted. Understood? Because oil always floats on water. The density of oil is less than water, so it floats on water. What happens? The underwater organisms will not get sunlight and enough amount of oxygen. So what happens? They will die because of this water pollution due to leakage of oil. Now let us see about effects of water pollution. Water pollution affects all living beings. Water contaminated with human or animal feces, Feces, you know, the waste materials which is going out from the body of man and other animals. Garbage and sewage contains microorganisms that cause waterborne diseases. So what happens? All those things will enter into the water and it leads to waterborne diseases. Drinking water infected by bacteria. So how is it infected? How is drinking water infected? By bacteria, virus and protozoa. They are all microorganisms. Bacteria, virus and protozoa, you are not able to see them through your naked eyes. You require a microscope to observe all this because they are all microorganisms. Understood? You are not able to see. You feel that water is good. But what is happening? These microorganisms will be there in water which you are not able to see with your naked eyes. You will drink. What will happen? That causes infection. That will cause infection. So here see, drinking water infected by bacteria, virus and protozoa is the most common and widespread health risk. Some of the diseases caused by drinking polluted water are cholera, vomiting and loose motion, typhoid, fever, headache and stomach upset, all that will be the typhoid. Dysentery is again loose motion. Hepatitis, it is also one type of disorder, diseases. And polio. Polio means what happens? There will be handicap on your physical body. Understood? So polio. All these are because of the waterborne diseases. If you take what is that, polluted water, contaminated water, then you get all these type of diseases. Now let us see here. Flood waters. Flood waters means what? When the dams and all that will be overflowing, when river overflows, when there is heavy rainfall, there will be overflow of water which causes flood. So flood waters carry sewage, silt, soil. Sewage, you know, all that unwanted waste materials passed from plants and animals, that is human beings also. So that is sewage. Silt is what? Fine mud. Fine mud is called silt. Very nice, it will be fine mud it is. Soil. So they carry even the soil. And chemical waste. Already I told you, from industries there will be emission of chemical waste. So chemical waste which cause diarrhea and dysentery. Diarrhea and dysentery. So what happens here? In diarrhea you will have even fever and other things. In dysentery, loose motion. So all this will be there. Vomiting and loose motion. Marine plants and animals die in large numbers when there is an oil spill. Already I have explained to you. When there is oil spill, especially in seas and oceans, due to the leakage of ship or wreckage of ship, what happens? Oil will start spilling on water. So here see, marine plants and animals die in large numbers when there is an oil spill from oil refineries or ships. From oil refineries or ships, if there is a oil spillage, most of the marine animals get affected. Now let us say about prevention of water pollution. How to prevent water pollution? It is important to prevent water pollution owing to its harmful effects. Let us look at some ways to prevent it. How to prevent water pollution? See here, people need to be made aware of water pollution and its effects on health through television program and newspaper advertisements, so that they do not pollute any sources of water. So through different sources you should make them understand, make human beings understand if there is pollution of water, what happens? It causes so many diseases. So, and who is responsible for that? It is man only who is responsible to pollute the water. So you should make them understand. How to make them understand? Through programs on TV. See, programs and newspapers, advertisements. So with all that you can say that how it is going to be very harmful to all the living organisms. So we should not pollute the water. Pollution of water bodies by dumping garbage into them or in any other way must be forbidden by law. People breaking the law should be punished. So what happens? If people are going to throw the waste materials into water resources, what happen? They have to be punished. They have to be punished because it is going to lead to so many diseases. Everybody may suffer, isn't it? That is why you should see that if anybody is going and spoiling the water or contaminating water, they have to be punished. strict rules should be enforced for industries waste disposal. So what happens? Industries waste materials will directly enter into the water resources. So there should be some rules that what the industries have to do with the waste materials. It should never be sent to water resources. Next, farmers need to be educated about better methods of farming involving minimal use of pesticides, fertilizers and insecticides, and increased use of natural manures and insect repellents. So even farmers have to be educated. Why? Because they are using insecticides, pesticides and all very poisonous chemicals there. They are all poisonous chemicals. Why they are using is because they want to keep away the insects and pests which will harm the crops. For that they use. And artificial fertilizer if they use also, plants will grow very well. They have to do. But that should be used in a proper way. And they should be trained in such a way that the waste material should never go to water resources. And they have told here also, see, increase, and they have to, what they can do, they can, instead of using these chemicals, they can directly go for natural manure. What is this natural manure? Now for example, cow dung. Cow dung. If you just dump that cow dung in a pit and keep it for some days, what happens? That becomes natural manure. There is no chemical in it. Okay. If that is added to plants, what happens? Plants also will grow very well. That is about the natural manure. And insect repellents. Insect repellents means without using chemicals, you have to kill the insects. So that is called as insect repellent. No chemicals used. Even at home also you can see now sometimes you get that electric bulb like things, isn't it? So those type of some alternate things has to be used so that you don't have to use insecticides or pesticide. Means you should not use chemicals. Okay. Once the chemical is used, what happens? As the water flows from the agricultural land, what happens? It will reach to water resources, contaminating the water. Now let us see water purification. How to purify water? Already water is contaminated, it is polluted. Now you want to purify that water. Only then you can use it. So we have learnt about the numerous ways in which water gets polluted and the effects of consuming polluted water. What happens if you consume polluted water? This makes purification of water essential. So purification of water is very much required to remove all the waste materials from water. Below are some methods used for purification of water. What are the methods we will see? Boiling. What you have to do? You have to boil water. Boiling often helps in killing germs. You cannot take the whole river water and boil. Whatever water you have in the house, which you are getting from water resources, that has to be boiled, cooled, and then you have to consume that. Okay. So boiling often helps in killing germs in water. This is the most common way of water purification used in most of the houses. Even if you are using filter water also, what they say? Nowadays they say even that filter water also has to be boiled and then cooled and then you should drink. So that there won't be any germs in it. Disease causing germs will not be there. Then coming, the first one is boiling, next one is filtering. People also use filters to purify drinking water. Filters. Now earlier you can see filters and nowadays you can see this AquaGuard also. They will also have the type of filters in them. Okay. So they use filters to purify water. These filters remove the insoluble impurities from water. If there is any insoluble which cannot be dissolved in water, those insoluble materials can be removed from by using filters. Remaining methods I will tell you in the next class. Before that we will see here. Did you know? Rainwater undergoes natural filtration when it percolates through a number of layers of sand, gravel, chalk and coal. I already have explained to you children. When you just dig the ground, you see different layers of soil there. So that different layers of soil, as the water is passing through different layers of soil, what happens? All that impurities will be caught by these layers of soil. And then the pure water will reach to the water table. Water table, understood? Already it is explained. Okay. So chalk. Okay. This is the reason why underground water is considered better for drinking than surface water. Surface water on the top, which you are able to see, that is always contaminated. But the groundwater will not be contaminated because as the water is seeping down, what happens? all that waste materials will be caught by the soil particles. Only the pure water goes to the water table. From there you can get water which is pure. Next activity. Collect information about the companies providing water purification solutions and the different products and techniques used by them for achieving the same. Try and find out what reverse osmosis is. So nowadays you run behind this one, what they call Bisley water, mineral water, mineral water. So what happens? That is also nothing but it's a purified water which is stored in bottles. So sometimes when you are going traveling, what happens if there is no water, what you have carried, you just go to the shops and buy those bottles and take, isn't it? That is called as mineral water which is already purified. Did you understand? So let me stop it here. I will continue in the next class about water purification continuation. Okay. Thank you.